Hello everyone and welcome back to this humble abode of gameplay and memes. Today I bring you yet another Supreme Commander Forged Alliance Forever replay cast. Yes, in case you thought I am no longer making these because I'm switching to another game, no, that's not true. I will continue making those and, for the foreseeable future, so to speak. Yes, today I am bringing you a 6 vs 6 replay cast. On the map Adaptive Wonder. Yes, it's a 10 by 10 map. Currently we've got 25,000 reclaim on it, mostly scattered about the middle as well as the mountainous edges of the map. And yes, since this is an adaptive map, I imagine it can probably host up to 8 players on both sides, but in this particular instance they decided to have only 6 players on each team, and also remove the starting positions of, other potential players, so that there are no, easy expansions with 4 mass extractor points on them. So let's go ahead and start introducing our players. Of course, we've got plenty of these today, and the sooner we start with those, the better. Anyway, starting with Team 1 in the green corner. On the left flank position, we've got Arrow 24 xBIGx at 1200 rank points, playing Seraphim in blues blue, going first land. Moving towards the west, on the middle left flank position, we've got Caulus at 1500 rank points, playing Cybran in Taiga green, going first land. Moving further still towards the west, on the middle right flank position, we've got ourselves Apostu at 1500 rank points also, playing Seraphim in Shrinking Violet, going first land. On the right flank rearguard position, so to speak, because this player is a little bit further away in comparison to the other 2 neighbors, we've got ourselves Buzazyka at 1300 rank points, playing Seraphim also in Wet Concrete Grey, going first land. The last person on the front lines, on the rightmost flank position, we're going to have Cajuero at 1500 rank points, playing UEF in Venomous Green, going first land. And yes, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be pronounced Cajuero because this player is from Brazil, from my understanding, so I think this is how it's supposed to be pronounced in Portuguese. And last but not least, for Team 1, we've got ourselves the highest ranked player of this team also, and it is BigBang, playing Seraphim in Color Confusion Cyan, going first land. And he has got himself 1700 rank points. My lord, I'm probably gonna have to work years to be anywhere near the similar amount of rank points. We'll see though. Maybe I won't do that at all. Who knows? Moving on to Team 2 in the red corner. Starting with the leftmost flank position, we've got ourselves slvt, who we've seen before, but we'll see again today, at 1500 rank points, playing Cybran in Road Rage Red, going first land. In the middle left flank position, we've got ourselves Pryanichek. Tasty name. It basically means, a gingerbread cake, so to speak. At 1500 rank points, playing Aeon in Winter Wipeout White, going first land. Moving further towards the northeast this time, on the middle right flank position, we've got Kwietstorm at 1600 rank points, playing Seraphim in Lime Green, going first land, and already building some power generators next to that mass extractor, rather than going for a pure Hydro Rush, which would also be possible, but I guess he's deciding to go for a more power safe build, so to speak. On the right flank rearguard position, we've got Astro Bog, playing UEF in Power Play Purple at 1300 rank points, going first land. And on the rightmost flank position, we've got xBIGx, playing Seraphim in Thalassophobia Blue, going first land, and also placing some generators next to that factory. And last but not least, for Team 2 and for this particular game, we've got our highest ranked player for today. It's Lazy Avina at 1800 rank points, playing Cybran in Cornate Red, going first land. Now with the introductions out of the way, we should probably speed up the map slightly, or speed up the game, and see what kinds of early game plays our players are going for. So far it seems like none of them are going to do anything particularly aggressive with their scouts or their light assault bots, but of course, you know, as time goes by, we might still see some plays of that kind. It remains to be seen. Already a second air factory queued up for Cajuero, of course. No doubt second air will be queued up very quickly by the air players as well. Well, BigBang isn't currently doing that, while, yeah, Lazy already has, and already has queued up all of the power generators he will need to transition to T2 air. So slightly faster in terms of the queuing up the builds. In fact, it looks like BigBang isn't even currently queuing up the air factory at all. Alright, interesting. Of course, all of our players are going to be expanding, going outward, and yes, you can already see some squads of tanks with scouts. It looks like the max extractors, yes, mass extractors are being pinged on the left-hand side. BigBang is saying, oh yeah, he's saying basically these extractors belong to Buzazyka, or whoever can claim them first, but not BigBang himself. Our first commander clashes in the middle. We've got Pryanichek as well as Cajuero shooting each other over dominance of that crater. The crater has already been picked clean, so really quickly going out to that one. On the right-hand side, or on the northeastern side, we've got once again climactic shootouts between Kwietstorm and Caulus. Arrow already also showing up, but then going further towards the east to secure the flanks, make sure no enemy units sneak by. Now 5 commanders engaging in the middle. The commander of Apostu is also arriving on the case. It looks like it's currently a 3v2 in the middle, so the commanders of Team 2 should be extremely careful here not to die so early, and makes the situation extremely complicated for their teammates. Of course, you know, you could argue that this game, I'm pretty sure, is being played as full share. So if you could argue that if these commanders die early, then it's easier for their teammates to manage, but you know, sometimes if multiple commanders die on one side, it could result in the collapse of the entire side, and basically your opponent's controlling 3/4 of the map for the entire game, while you will be stuck with just your small little corner somewhere. It looks like the commander of SLVT is going on the offensive on the western flank. And it seems like Buzazyka and Cajuero are both a little bit slow to respawn, so yeah. The engineer never finishes that radar, so SLVT's ACU destroys a free mass extractor and then runs away. But still his tanks are advancing forward, destroying the mass extractors on the edges of the map. Highly inconvenient for Cajuero. I'm sure he's fuming about that. We can't see anything in chat, but you know, just in case, Kwietstorm was telling somebody in the middle to run, which they did. Nobody goes killed. First upgrades in the game going out every which way. We've got T2 for Buzazyka, we've got Gun for Arrow, we've got T2 for Big as well. I think Astrobog was starting some kind of an upgrade, but then cancelled it, or maybe his ACU was just paused. Meanwhile, Kwietstorm also going for Gun. It doesn't seem like Apostu is going for anything, or Caulus for that matter. In fact, it looks like Caulus is retreating towards the... well, no, he was retreating towards the reclaim. Yeah, speaking of reclaim, at this point most of the middle has been, of course, collected. There are still some craters amongst these mountains where you can still gather some rocks, but you know, there isn't really enough reclaim to bother too much with them. You see, on this super wide screen right here, we've barely got like... you know, barely enough to construct one T2 mass extractor, so yeah, not very urgent, let's just say that. Gun range going out for Pryanichek, no doubt going to follow that up with some gun, what is it again? Gun speed, yeah, there we go, both completed already. Yes, also gun now going out for Apostu. I think he just started that, well, 56% now, but whatever. T2 done for Big, who immediately starts work on some Utashila turrets in order to chase away the gun com of Arrow. Interestingly enough, most players in this game appear to be Seraphim and Cybran. Just a small note here, it looks like there is only 2 UEF players and 1 Aeon player. Everybody else is Seraphim and Cybran, so I suppose Seraphim and Cybran are kind of like the meta in this map. Arrow is going on the offensive against the positions of Big. It looks like Big will manage to finish the second Utashila though, and with that I'm pretty sure, yeah, the forces of Arrow are already thinning out. Kwietstorm is in the area with his own gun. And so is Astrobog, who's for some reason his commander is always paused. I don't know, might be something about the eco manager, I'm not entirely sure. But it's really weird. His commander is always paused no matter where he's going or what he's doing. Kwietstorm just securing the area with his own body, constructing, you know, a Tech 1 mass extractor to get some mass back for his trouble. You know, he's lost a third of his health after all. In the meantime, yes, we've got Buzazyka securing the positions with some T1 and T2 and T1 turrets even, making sure that no more run-bys from slvt are possible. slvt himself, meanwhile, starts work on some wall sections, so yeah, he doesn't want no smoke either. Just going to seal himself off and make sure that no enemies sneak by. Oh, we just caught that T2 mass extractor being completely obliterated. I think it was, yes indeed, it was a tactical missile out from slvt. Already has killed 1800 mass. Might kill more right here. Let's see where exactly it's going. I think it's going for the... yeah, well, it destroyed a T1 mass extractor. Not the most worthwhile thing to do, but you know, gotta take the wins you have. I think this mass extractor, the last remaining T2 mass extractor in the base of Cajuero is off limits now to the tactical missile launcher, because this TMD right here should be, yeah, there you go. Is blocking on the trajectory. Boom! 1/3 of a missile hits the extractor, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the end of it. Once again, in terms of reclaim, I was going to say before, but completely, you know, trailed off there. It looks like it's about even 21,000 versus 22,000 for Team 1. Team 1 doing slightly better, but not catastrophic by any means. In the meantime, we've got a major engagement in the middle. Pryanichek's commander pretty much alone, well, not alone, is being supported by tanks from Kwietstorm as well as Pryanichek himself, but wow. Apostu is going hard over here, pushing really hard against Pryanichek, leaving him at a fourth of his health. Apostu himself needs to be careful because he's only got, yeah, the half of his health left over. It looks like he's going, well, yeah, he's not going too aggressive. The engineers out from Kwietstorm are attempting to construct some defense turrets, although it's a tactical missile defense turret apparently. Alright. Lots of artillery out from Apostu are definitely helping him out. He's got both, yeah, he's got both T2 and gun, so he is going to be pushing, you know, has some health to spare, of course. It's not as effective as Nano, but still need to keep that in mind. It looks like Caulus is also poised for an attack now, with both gun and stealth of his commander. Buzazyka seems to be retreating, more worried about securing the position. It looks like, yeah, well, Pryanichek seems to be okay for now. As I say that, he just takes a whole bunch of artillery fire and gets into the red. Yeah, you need to be really careful. You need to keep that commander as far away from the artillery pieces as possible. I'm pretty sure the ACU outranges them. Can't confirm that, but you know, I'm kind of sure. Mercy's out from Pryanichek, going straight for the commander of Caulus, who just showed up. Already lost 2/3 of his health. Is going to lose some more here. It looks like, oh, a strategic bomber flies overhead, destroys the commander of Pryanichek, and both of them, both Pryanichek and Caulus, go up in nuclear fire. Ooh, what a shot. I think I'm going to use that for my thumbnail, but of course I'm going to start the replay over in order to take the screenshot, because you can't just, you know, take it like that and then move on. There's way too much extra stuff in the way. Anyway, those are our two first ejections at the same time from both teams. Both teams losing one member from the middle at 11 minutes into the game. And it seems as though they are quite shocked by it, because yeah, Pryanichek is saying nice bomber. It was quite a spectacular bomber timing out from BigBang. It doesn't look like the bomber accomplished anything else though. Oh yeah, you can see right there the wreckage of the bomber being reclaimed by the engineers of Lazy already. It seems like some of the units have been sent, or maybe I am just can you give me some energy? Okay, Lazy is just spamming energy like crazy because he wants to go to T3 as fast as possible, of course. But yeah, it seems like, yeah, the former base of Pryanichek has been transferred to Lazy. Meanwhile, on the other side, BigBang also has the former base of Caulus. So yes, both commanders very much, or both air players very much gaining an economic advantage, as you can see right here. It looks like, yeah, the teams aren't really going neck and neck, as I was gonna say. Well, yes, they are actually. Never mind. Yeah, about 400 versus about 400 on the enemy side. For some reason, Lazy's fighters are going into the base of BigBang. I'm not entirely sure what that's all about. I guess he wants to secure the airspace, make sure that BigBang has no fighters to speak of, but it looks like it isn't gonna work though, because, yeah, there are more fighters from BigBang. Lazy just loses air for no reason. Yes. Astrobog is already saying, I forgot. I forgot that Lavina is an idiot. Or a noob, you can say. This word, Demina, means bottom, but it basically means, yeah, bottom of the barrel, essentially. Like, the worst. So, a scout from Lazy is somehow still flying overhead. I have no idea how that hasn't been shot down, but I guess BigBang is just currently busy microing his base, constructing a second air factory, you know, upgrading the mass extractors to T3. Should be in quite a heavy mass sol as we speak. That's not heavy at all, just minus 40, that's nothing, I would say. Yeah, I guess the former base of Caulus is helping him drastically. I just wish he was controlling that. Currently it seems like, okay, starting work on some T3 mass extractors as well. The commander of Apostu, interestingly enough, pushing against the Firebase of slvt. It looks like slvt is attempting to construct some turrets, but the commander with Nano, in addition to T2 and gun, is chasing him away, because, yeah, slvt's commander is completely unupgraded, so the Apostu could clear all of this up easily. He built an Autoshala turret behind in order to assist him with firepower. Looks like it's not quite enough though. The fighters from, these are actually interceptors from Cajuero, are in the area. Has to be extremely careful because, you know, if you lose a lot of health, you could get mercied once again. Even though, of course, our resident mercy sniper has already died. But there is still always a possibility, so yeah, you would do well not to decrease your health too much, I guess, while standing on the front line. It looks like most of the interceptors from Cajuero have already been shot down by the resident SAM launchers out from... These are actually from Lazy, interestingly enough. But yes, slvt has very much been forced off the position. They're losing a T2 mass extractor in the process, so probably not too happy about that, but... Apostu's commander, together with the forces of Cajuero, will advance no further, and will instead just back out. After, you know, being relatively happy about destroying the Firebase. I wish they reclaimed some of the stuff, but it looks like they were trying to do that, but the engineers got killed, so never mind. Now, bricks rolling out from slvt will make sure that no such incursions are possible any longer. So yes, in terms of economy, it looks like Astrobog on Team 2 is very much far ahead. Interestingly enough, further ahead in comparison to Lazy, who's got two bases, working with two bases. It looks like there's a ton of missile launchers being produced by Kwietstorm, pounding the frontal positions of Arrow. It looks like Arrow is holding down well thus far. Not nearly enough TMD units in the area though, and the shields are about to collapse, so we will see if he still gets ousted from here. He's also constructing T2 power generators on the front line, which is never a good idea. But, you know, it is kind of resource efficient because you don't need to... If you've already got your commander to T2, and you construct generators on the front line, you don't need to go T2 land or T2 air at home in order to do that. But still, these generators are in grave danger. As you can see right here, the shield, yeah, the last shield collapses. It looks like he is working on another. Would probably be a much better idea to work on... Yep, there we go. A fresh shield just collapses as well. Would probably be a much better idea to just build some TMD units before building shields. At least that would reduce the damage drastically. However, there is no T3 land on, I'm sure, on both sides. Yeah, not just the bricks and artillery out from slvt, but also Arrow himself is working with some T3 mobile artillery. Of course, it's not enough damage, you know, just one artillery piece is not enough damage to repel such a massive attack, or indeed pierce through the shields, but you know, those artillery pieces, they build up, and eventually they could very much pierce through this position. Big is working on some nano repair in the corner, and next to him, it looks like Astrobog is working on, well, his own T3 force, mostly consisting of cougars and shields for now. Interesting. So I suppose this means Big is taking on a more support role in terms of land combat. It looks like a very similar strategy is being employed on the western side, as we see lots and lots of missile launchers pushing the bricks away. Actually, no, they aren't pushing the bricks away, they're pushing the artillery away. Bricks could clean them up easily, but with the gun comm in the area, those bricks are in serious danger. Except for some reason, Apostu's commander wasn't overcharging. Oh, whatever. Gun speed and range going up for Buzazyka. A little bit too late in my opinion, but I guess he wants to utilize that Seraphim comm with T2 and Nano. Which, yes, in case some people haven't realized, the Seraphim comm is the only one that can work with both Tech 2 Engineering Suite and Nano at the same time, making it extra tanky and allowing it to construct some serious fortifications right on the front line. Oh, a Filta has been done by Astrobog. Now that's interesting, I totally didn't notice him building that. Okay. He's got Seraphim Tech 3 now. I guess this is the reason, yeah, he wanted to construct a Filta rather than make a fat boy of his own UEF technology. Yes, instead working with the Filta, which will now continue pushing, or start pushing against the positions of Arrow. This position does have quite a few Toshla turrets on it, but with so much spam and the Filta coming in and even the commander of Kwietstorm being in the area for some reason, it looks like it shouldn't really be enough to protect. Yeah, there you go. The commander of Arrow is already running away, realizing the error of his ways. Boom! The giant left arm cannon from the Filta, in addition to the lightning ball, destroys everything. Destroys, yep, about to destroy the last generators. There we go. The commander is long gone. There are now some snipers being built up by Arrow in hopes of defending against the Filta, who is now just running rampant, supported by some Ilshivo assault bots and the commander of Kwietstorm. It looks like there isn't really much in the area that could stop them. It seems as though BigBang is building up some gunships in order to defend against them, and the gunships are rolling out now. There is a strategic bomber flying overhead. Looks like it will get immediately destroyed by the fighters of Lazy. Yeah, probably should have brought your fighters forward before you brought in the gunships and bombers and all that. The gunships are chasing the Filta away, but there is so much flak in the area that they will just drop like flies and get demolished immediately. No air engagement as of yet. It seems to be brewing, but both air players are reconsidering their options and running away. It looks like Arrow's commander is not safe, as we thought, and boom, there he goes, finished off by the machine gun of the Filta. Out from Astrobog, of course. In terms of experimentals on the opposing side, I can't currently see anything. It looks like Cajuero is just working on some kennels. It also looks like he doesn't even have... Okay, he does have T3 land, but it's currently only working with T2 power. I guess it's enough for now. Because yeah, if you build like 2 or 3 T2 power generators, they can sustain even your T3 land for quite a while. There is a Monkey Lord out from BigBang, is sent out to counter the Filta. However, the Monkey Lord is having some targeting difficulties and actually destroying everything else before the chicken, which means it will unfortunately go down with basically no damage dealt to the chicken, who is already a 4-star veteran, by the way. That's 55,000 mass kill on that thing, so I'm sure Astrobog is quite happy with that performance. Buzazyka is going towards the Filta for some reason. His only overcharge misses, and there he goes. So the chicken has already bagged 2 lives of Team 1, sorry, and is now going to pretty much retreat and stay safe back at base. So yes, a 4-star veteran with a 120 regeneration per second. Of course, you know, Astrobog himself can't really build the restoration field in order to make the Filta even more powerful, but, you know, he could ask one of his Seraphim allies to do so, of which there are still 2 left alive. I mean, I'm pretty sure there were always 2. In the meantime, Kwietstorm's commander is actually launching tactical missiles from the commander itself at the enemy. It looks like he's destroyed some valuable targets. Well, this time it won't be successful because there is in fact a TMD unit in the area. 2 Monkey Lords out from BigBang. Now it looks like BigBang has a nice little Monkey Lord factory set up, already working on a 3rd with a whole bunch of hives supporting. A Soul Ripper out from SLVT is hanging about next to the base of Cajuero. Now that's a big surprise. Quite a nasty surprise for him, I'm sure. Yeah, they only now realize, it seems, that it was a Soul Ripper. No prior markings were sent out. So now BigBang will be forced to hover his fighters near that area to make sure that the Soul Ripper cannot do too much catastrophic damage, because if left unchecked, that could very much be the case. Of course, there are now T3 SAM launchers being constructed by Cajuero himself, but you know, 4 SAM launchers aren't nearly enough to stop a Soul Ripper if it wants you dead. Looks like it's now approaching the frontal positions of Apostu, but gets chased away by a whole bunch of lightning tanks as well as flak cannons, so for now we'll just hang out in base and do its own thing. Yeah, the Monkey Lords have chased away the Thother, who is now back to the green health, so very soon it could strike again and finish off both of these Monkey Lords, especially supported by snipers, who are already taking chunks of health off of these. In the meantime, in terms of economy, it looks like Team 2 is highly far ahead now at 1200 mass per second versus 900. That is a... what is it again? It's like a 33% advantage, basically. And the 3 Monkey Lords who are currently securing the former base of Aro, while they are, you know, pretty scary to go up against, eventually the economic advantage will allow Team 2 to overwhelm even those. A Monkey Lord has been built by slvt, trying to repel the attack from Apostu, but it has to be said that there is also an incoming Ythotha from Cajuero, and the Soul Ripper will probably not have too much success because of all the flak cannon and lightning tanks in the air. Look at that Soul Ripper just melting. The Monkey Lord is being targeted by the Ythotha directly, so it... oh, yep, it falls down right there. The Soul Ripper has to retreat or fall down right next to the Monkey Lord. Should be extremely careful with that thing. Yep, see, the flak cannons aren't even letting the Soul Ripper get close, and it's refusing to shoot the Ythotha for some reason. No idea what's going on there. In the meantime, Lazy has started work on a side, and interestingly enough, Lazy Venus Commander is working with a teleporter as well as a laser. While we were watching the action on the front line, which is still going on, the Ythotha still pushing, the Soul Ripper actually about to fall down. It looks like, yeah, Lazy himself has built up his teleporter, and is now ready to pounce on somebody. We'll see soon who it's going to be. It looks like Lazy is losing air in the process. Scouts flying overhead, no doubt looking for the commander of BigBang. Yes, it looks like BigBang has actually been spotted by Lazy, and the teleport is going out. Here we go. Here we go. Right next to the commander of BigBang, who seems to be none the wiser. The strategic missile defense is also right there, and now he starts running away, but it should be too late as the laser is trained directly on him, and even despite a large contingent of gunships in the area, there goes BigBang, explodes violently, destroying all the gunships in the process. Strategic bombers are flying directly overhead. It looks like Lazy is teleporting away already. Yes, indeed, he is almost halfway complete with the teleport. He could theoretically make it out alive because he will still gain some veterancy. There we go, gains the last rank of veterancy, but so many gunships in the area. Can he make it? No! The bomber! One bomber drops the crucial bomb, and there goes Lazy. So yes, both air players die in the nuclear inferno at BigBang's base. So yes, basically both teams just lost their highest ranked players. The Ythotha of Cajuero in the meantime was killed by 2 opposing Ythothas, both from whoever this is, I already forgot. Yeah, Kwietstorm as well as Astrobog. It looks like, yeah, the attack on the left side, on the western side, has in fact been stemmed. No more units pushing there. In fact, some of the remaining surviving units are retreating. And yes, there is quite a sizable reclaim field on this former field of battle. You can see, yes indeed, 121,000 mass on this one screen. There's also a Monkey Lord wreckage that, yeah, was left behind by the attack, of course, still not reclaimed. Because while it is being technically controlled by Team 1, you know, they still can't get their engineers closer without those engineers being destroyed by the opposing chickens. It looks like slvt's commander barely made it out alive, and he left at half health working on some T2. And yes, looks like the Monkey Lords, the Monkey Lords from Cajuero are actually shifting their position, well, formerly from BigBang, but now from Cajuero, shifting their positions towards the left side, where they're also joined up with a Megalith. So yes, Cajuero very much working with a very large experimental force, now adding a Fat Boy to that, so a serious fist of power forming up on the western side on Team 2's left flank. The Soul Ripper is finally being reclaimed, but looks like the engineers will now get shot down by the Fat Boy. Yes, the range on the Fat Boy is that long, in case you're wondering. The only thing that can effectively counter the Fat Boy are tactical missiles or Tech 2 artillery installations. Because, yeah, the tactical missiles outrange it and can actually hit it, since it's so slow, while the Tech 2 artillery installations have the same range. And the Fat Boy is notoriously not that great in terms of his health. Only 32,000 in total, essentially. Oh, looks like SLVT himself is working on laser now after having completed T2. Yeah, SLVT's base is mostly gone at this point. I think some of the base, yeah, some of the former base of Pryanichek has been transferred to SLVT. But he's investing all of that into another telemaser, so we could see more sneaky Cybran sniping strats. Wow, that was an alliteration out of the blue. I actually did not expect that to happen. A sole Monkey Lord on the eastern side and half health probably won't be too effective defending against two Yethothas and a potential Fat Boy and all of these snipers that are still being produced on the right side. SLVT actually cancels his teleporter. I guess he really doesn't have enough energy to sustain that. Unsurprisingly, considering he's working with, you know, a small chunk of a base rather than what actually needs to be happening, and it looks like Team 1 has finally decided they've had enough and are actually pushing in. Two Monkey Lords, a Megalith and a Fat Boy, all rolling in, all demolishing the base that was formerly belonging to Pryanichek, and yes, they are being met with two Yethothas, actually three Yethothas from Team 2 from different players. It looks like the first Yethotha and the first Monkey Lord will fall down at roughly the same time. There you go, down goes the Yethotha. The second one will go down almost immediately, but so will the second Monkey Lord. And now you've got two of these death balls from the Yethothas burning the Megaliths. There you go, down goes the second Monkey Lord. The wreckages on in the background are still there, still not reclaimed. The Megalith is trying to run away, but it will probably fail because it's being burned. Yep, there we go, by two death balls from the opposing Yethothas. One chicken still alive on Team 2. Approaching the Fat Boy rapidly. The Fat Boy needs to also be careful. That could die really easily as well. Two Monkey Lords working into the killing field of two lightning storms zapping them directly. That is not a very good idea. Cajuero, you gotta get those out. You really need to retreat with those right now, but he keeps rolling in. It looks like both of the Monkey Lords will die. Yeah, they've got less health combined than the remaining chicken, so they will both die at roughly the same time. Chicken vets up to 3 stars. It looks like a third Monkey Lord is brought in to finally finish that off. But then, you know, one Monkey Lord can no longer push against this base, and look at this experimental graveyard. Holy moly. Megalith, Monkey Lord, Yethotha ricochets everywhere. Oh, well, the Monkey Lord gets burned by the lightning storm as well for its trouble. So, there you go. All of the experimentals that participated in the fight have been destroyed. There is now a whopping 227,000 reclaim on this one screen. The eternal battlefield, the endless carnage that has unfolded, has now left so many wreckages behind. And I suppose whoever gets the most of these wreckages could, in fact, just win the game right there. It also looked like there were some air engagements brewing, but no, both of the now newly appointed air players, being Cajuero and Astrobog, have in fact retreated with their fighters, not willing to engage and, you know, take a decisive loss, quite possibly. Another chicken coming in from Apostu in order to only to be met with a galactic colossus out from Kwietstorm and a chicken out from Astrobog. Two chickens from Astrobog, excuse me. It seems like more experimentals will be added to that graveyard extremely soon here. Yeah, it's probably, you know what, this probably makes a much better thumbnail than the two commanders exploding. Look at that, the chicken just running away, getting completely obliterated by the two opposing chickens and the GC. The GC is running a risk of dying though, because it's walking right past the, yep, there we go, walking right past the lightning storm, which is focusing on the GC alone. Because, you know, of course it won't target walls or anything like that. Yeah, the GC just walks in and dies for no reason. Yeah, not a very good look, that. Oh well then. It looks like, yes, even more wreckage has been added to the pile. At this point, how much reclaim is there? This is going to be 244,000, because, you know, it clearly wasn't enough before. Let's get some more in. Yeah, if we take a look at SLVT's base, which is being still harvested, it's probably going to be even more, but, you know, it's not that impressive. There's just one Tech 3 headquarters here, nothing too special. A ferry point being set up for, I guess, transporting the engineers to the front line in order to help them reclaim faster. A large contingent of Percival assault bots seems to be forming up from Cajuero. But for now, they definitely won't be enough to push against 2 chickens, that's for sure, and they're already getting shot to pieces by the artillery out from slvt. We have to keep our eyes on the economy, of course, and for now it seems like the teams are actually relatively even. Team 2 is still slightly far ahead, but Team 1 has notably caught up quite well. A strategic launch has been detected targeting basically right in the middle of Team 2's bases. It looks like shields are going up and down. I think it's not going to be defended because, yeah, there are no SMD units in the area. It looks like slvt is running away, but he's actually running straight towards the nuke. Oh no, slvt, please! You're running the wrong way. Stop it. No! There he goes. Destroys the Galactic Colossus that was still under the construction. Destroys slvt's commander. So now slvt is out of the game. And there are now 3 players on Team 2 versus 2 players on Team 1. In the meantime, Astrobog has already produced 1 Novax satellite station, already working on another, has finished a Fat Boy as well. The Novax immediately goes towards the air grid of Cajuero, formerly belonging to BigBang, of course. Looks like it's going to have a completely, a completely free time dismantling the air grid because there are no shields under construction even. The satellite is pausing. I want to see the big explosions, come on! This is what Supreme Command— oh no, he's targeting a different generator. I guess he wants to blow them up both at the same time. We'll see how that works out. The chickens are still just marching about, cleaning up the Percivals, but now the Percivals are joined by a Megalith, so that could be a serious problem. You know, the Megalith shooting chickens in the back, it outranges them, and of course no Corsairs or strategic bombers are going to stop such a large contingent of Cougars and Flak. Yeah, it could produce more Corsairs, but you know, those Corsairs will only get 1 pass in. And there clearly aren't enough of those. Yep, there we go, you can see the damage against the base of Cajuero. Half of the air grid already destroyed. It looks like, well, the headquarters are still operational, still producing some strategic bombers, which Team 2 definitely know about because of the Novax satellite. A second station has gone up, who will now produce the satellite. Yes, it seems like Team 1 really doesn't want to give up this reclaim field. 1 chicken has been destroyed. The other one is nowhere to be seen. That's a little bit weird. Yeah, I don't know where the second chicken went. Looks like it just kind of disappeared into the blue, but you know, there is now a Fat Boy out from Astrobog to defend as well. Looks like the Megalith is running away. So for now they still aren't pushing, they're still waiting for something. Yeah, the entirety of the air grid of Cajuero has been destroyed by just 1 satellite. This is horrible. This should never happen, but yet it has. Essentially no more air production for Team 1, and now the other power generators that were in Caulus' former base are being targeted as well. Gotta shield those power generators, my dude. You've got T3 engineers there. I guess, yeah, you might not be having, you know, the presence of mind or the microcontrol to do that right now, because he's focusing on the front line where he's now pushing with a Monkey Lord, a Chicken, a Fat Boy, and a Megalith. All of the experimentals, all of the land experimentals assembling together, well, besides the Galactic Colossi, which Team 1 has no access to. It also should be noted that Cajuero has constructed a Soothsayer on the front line. I'm pretty sure I just saw one. Yeah, it's right there. It's expanding as we speak. He doesn't actually have the power to support it, but yes. The Fat Boy is running away, of course. The Megalith seems to... yeah, it seems like the Megalith will never finish as well. There are 2 Fat Boys now firing upon the advancing forces, though. And looks like there actually isn't enough anti-air to support them, because half of the anti-air is still lagging behind. Those lightning tanks out from Apostu are actually, yeah, they are seriously late to the party. The Monkey Lord is already destroyed. The Chicken will suffer the same fate very soon, as it's being demolished by Corsairs in addition to all the Fat Boys. The Megalith is still standing, but no, it won't last much longer, being fired upon by the other Megalith. Strategic bombers out from Cajuero seem to have tried to invade, but were met with a hurricane of fighters from both Astrobog and Big, so nope. No strat bombers for you. They do claim quite a lot of territory here, leaving tons of wreckages behind, you know, as per usual. But in this case, they are encroaching upon the strategic missile defenses of Team 2. And remember, Team 1 does in fact have a nuke. even though those fat boys will die, as well as the megalith, of course, as long as they can reach the enemy nuke defense, that could be seriously problematic for Team 1. The chicken is now in the area, and it did not die to the lightning storm of the opposing chicken. It is also supported by some whaler gunships, so yes indeed. Astrobog utilizing the air advantage in order to construct some assault planes that will help them greatly in defending. A chicken out from Apostu is trying to find another way into the enemy base, chasing down the artillery pieces, should be able to kill all of them, but no, it will now retreat, as he realizes that there are so many Utashila turrets there that they can stop the chicken on their own, essentially. And is being pounded by a whole bunch of Nothel bombers. You really gotta get your anti-air in the area. It looks like all the anti-air is walking through the bottom once again. There is nothing really for them to destroy here except a bunch of T1 factories. And if they were met with a land experimental, they would just get vaporized instantly, so I don't think this attack is very noteworthy. On the right side, however, it looks like the second Novax out from Astrobog actually destroyed a lot of the mass extractors from Cajuero, and finishing a T3 extractor as we speak, yet another one. And now there is a very large contingent of land units from both Big and Astrobog, all of them actually Seraphim, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there we go. All Seraphim units out from Big, joined by the chicken from Astrobog, so now they will be pushing directly into the base of Team 1 from a vulnerable angle. So Team 1 did a little bit more successfully, Team 2 did a little bit more successfully what Team 1 was attempting all along. Found a vulnerable spot and are now advancing, except they're a little bit out of sync because the Filthy is lagging behind. But look at all these snipers firing directly on the vulnerable soothsayers and T3 anti-air SAM launchers. The Awasa that was being built by Apostu is now being reclaimed, as it was destroyed by the enemy Novax. It looks like, oh yes, the commander of Apostu is also right in the middle of everything. The Filthy is actually attacking the Monkey Lord construction facilities of Team 1. For some reason, Cajuero is working on 2 Monkey Lords at the same time. That is not a good look. That is something you should never do, because that will, that will ensure that both of them will never finish, essentially, as they are being fired upon by a chicken. It looks like the commander of Apostu is now directly being bombarded by the enemy satellites, so the chicken knows exactly where to go. But there is a bigger problem coming in than the chicken. There is an Awasa bomber in the area, and it drops a bomb on top of the T3 power generators that did not hit the commander, but the generators are a much bigger loss at this point, arguably, because I'm pretty sure Team 1 is still struggling in terms of energy. Well, Cajuero isn't struggling, but yeah, Apostu has pretty much nothing left to work with at this point. The chicken is going straight for his commander. A nuke is being launched by Cajuero. It looks like it's targeting, it's targeting the Novaxes out from Big, but the problem is, even though there are so many missiles flying in, they might still get shot down because there is still tons of Team D left over. Right, the missiles do land, destroy the SMD, but there is yet another one right there, and it stops the nuke. Yes, in the meantime, the commander of Apostu gets blown up by the combination of the Filthy and the Novax out from Astrobog. Kwietstorm can't believe it. So much devastation, so much, stuff going on. But what is that there? It's Kwietstorm's commander. He teleports right on top of Cajuero's commander. And Awasa bomb gets dropped, but is completely blocked by the shields. Cajuero and Kwietstorm shooting each other. It looks like Kwietstorm will get a better end of this engagement, and boom! A strategic bomber finishes them both off, and this is the end of the game, because there are no more commanders on Team 1 left to control their troops. There we go. That was a great game. I really enjoyed watching that one. I hope you did too. And if you did, please, by all means, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications so you're the first one to get the new cast out from me. And yes, one of the other changes that I was making, you probably noticed in this video, I will be now adding my own music. Well, not my own music, but other external music to the game instead of using the game's built-in music. Because yeah, I realized that, the music that was in the game doesn't actually work too well. Because it's always, the calm and basically the calm music from the build-ups, from the early game build-ups most of the time. Yeah, in order to switch it to more intense music, more appropriate for the situation, you need to switch to the perspective of one of the teams, but as observers we mostly watch all of this from observer perspective, which in this case is actually detrimental, because the music will always be the super calm version of it. So yeah, this is arguably better. But anyway, an epic way to finish the game off. And yes, this was in fact a replay of Supreme Commander Forged Alliance being played and watched using the Forged Alliance Forever client. For now, this is all I've got for you for today, so goodbye, take care everybody, and I hope to see you soon again on the battlefields of the future.